bossy?
Well, perhaps no man has ever heard stop being bossy in that phrase, that particular diction. However, I'm pretty sure stop being so controlling is a phrase men hear quite a bit. And whereas controlling has a connotation of sounding like abuse and bossy has a connotation of sounding like annoying, you decide which one of those two is worse.
Your dad will have to chase the boys away when you're older.
Is that supposed to be an insult? Am I supposed to feel bad about that? Sure, okay, you got it. That's something girls hear.
You look so pretty.
Okay, now I am positive that was a compliment. There's no mistaking that. And also, I'm pretty sure "you're so handsome" is synonymous. So, I mean, okay, sure, maybe men don't hear that they're pretty, but they hear that they're handsome, and the two words mean the same thing, so does that not count? Probably doesn't count.
He picks on you because he likes you.
Well, there's a kernel of truth, in that ball of dung there. It's not really so much that boys, pick on you or they be mean to you. They kind of tease you a little bit. I mean, usually when you're younger, when you're a little kid, you can't really express your emotions, right? So sometimes, you tease girls, you pick on them a little bit. And that's really what it is. It's their way of trying to get attention from girls because they don't know how else to obtain it. As far as them being mean, like when we're adults, no, if you're an adult and he's being mean to you, he doesn't like you. I don't really know why I have to explain that concept.
You need to wax your eyebrows.
Okay, never heard anyone say that to a man before.
Don't wear that to school, you gonna distract the boys.
Yeah, sure. Most women are attracted to men as ends unto themselves, so most women aren't just attracted to how men look. So it's not normally distracting. But, that being said, it's not like any guy can just go to school and wear a crop top and people aren't going to say things to him. One guy actually tested this out and actually I think got sent home, or I do know teachers talked to him about it, so yeah, sure, this is advice mostly given to ladies because mostly ladies have to show themselves off to be attractive. However, it's not really like boys can get away with doing the same thing because they can't. It's equal, it just affects one more because more women have to look good to attract people. That's all it is.
Oh, you like video games? The boys must love that.
I'm a little confused here because I thought video gamers were sexist. That's what I thought. How can you be sexist and still be appealing to men? The two are contradictory. I don't understand that. And also I don't really understand. How's it an insult? Most ladies, guess what, aren't the biggest fans of video games. Digimon has never gotten this nigga some pussy. I'm just saying.
Don't be a slut.
That's actually pretty reasonable advice. But sure, being a slut is involved for a man. Being a slut is kind of like being a woman for a woman. It takes no effort at all, and you don't earn any points for it. Sorry,
No guy wants to have sex with a virgin.
Well, that one just certainly isn't true. Multiple men who'd like to have sex with virgins. In fact, just a second ago I watched a video with a girl who said that trying to have sex with a virgin is a fetish. Although it really doesn't make any sense. I'd like to have sex with a virgin. It kind of takes the pressure off the both of us. At least I hope that's what would happen. If it doesn't, it is what it is. We can try again tomorrow. At least that's how I think. It's interesting because while you say that is something that only girls hear and men just don't, that's not true. So this video should be titled 47 Things That Women Hear, because I have been told numerous times that girls do not want to have sex with men who are virgins because they lack experience. Numerous times have I been told this. So that goes both ways. Hit me up with the next one.
How much did you have to drink that night? Well,
one, that's a pretty reasonable question, and two, you should rename this video to 46 Things That Women Hear That Men Just Don't, because that is absolutely a question that people ask men.
what were you wearing that night?
I guess this is something that affects primarily women, but again, this video should be renamed to 45 things that women hear that men just don't. Because whenever anyone, especially the police, are trying to ascertain what was going on, sometimes that question will be asked. Of course, I think anyone with common sense knows what you are alluding to, and so I will not pretend that I don't know what you're talking about. That being said, anyone, again, with common sense knows that what you're wearing has nothing to do with you being raped. I don't know how many times I have to say this before it sticks, but there you go. It's on record now. For like the 15th time I've made a YouTube video.
Why are you getting so emotional?
Have you ever spent time with a woman before? Because if you did, you would understand why such a question would arise. And no, that's not sexist, that's just observing patterns. Also, this video should be renamed to 44 things that women hear that men just don't. Because I've been asked that question growing up. I was really sensitive, you know, when I was a little kid. I used to cry a lot. So, yeah. Go ahead, retitle your video, because it's just not right.
Stop being such an attention whore.
I got nothing.
Don't be so bitchy.
Should we rename this to 48, no, 43? Are we at 43 things that women hear and men just don't? You know, stop being a bitch. That is certainly a phrase that has been said to many men, especially when they're being bitchy. I'm just saying, your video is not titled accurately.
Stop being so dramatic.
Have you ever spent time with a woman? You will understand exactly why that turn of phrase is used. And that's not me being sexist, that's just me observing patterns of human behavior. I'm just saying, I'm just saying.
It must be that time of the month.
Well, wouldn't that be the most reasonable thing that occurs on this list? Last time I checked, only women can have periods. Unless you want to. I'm not going there. Keep going.
It would be really pretty if you just made an effort.
You'd be really handsome if you just cut your hair. You'd be really good looking if you just changed your shoes. So I guess this video should now be titled 42 things that women hear that men just don't. Get out of here with that bullshit. Like no one has ever said a man would look better if he worked out or did something. Depart from me.
You'd be much prettier if you smiled.
Sure, whatever. I don't really see what's insulting about that. But, I mean, I've been told that before. Usually it was from a female friend of mine when I was really sad. She was like, you'd look better if you smiled. But I guess we gotta change the title to what? 41 things that women hear that men just don't?
You're so exotic. Where are you from?
You sure? You sure? I mean, perhaps people don't use the term afraid. I don't even know anyone who has ever referred to any woman of any other racial identity as exotic. I mean, I've heard feminists say that people do, but I've never actually observed this. So I guess I'm just gonna have to take the word for it. So taking the word for it, sure, I guess. But I mean, the question, where are you from, is pretty universally asked. I mean, I guess this video is now 40 things that women hear that men just don't, because that is not a question that people only ask to women. And I'm pretty sure that some men are asked if they're exotic too. I'm pretty sure. I mean, if people ask women that, I don't see why they wouldn't ask men.
Nice rack.
Well, once again, it would make sense that someone would say that to a woman, considering women have breast tissue.
I was just trying to give you a compliment.
You know, it would make a lot of sense why people would only say that to women, because only women can get upset when someone tries to give them a compliment. I've never seen a man get angry when someone called him handsome or someone said he did something well. But I've seen girls just about burst into the tears when someone says that they're beautiful. It's crazy. It's crazy. I've seen this with my own eyes. I have done this before, and it just, you'd think it makes them happy, but it doesn't. It just kind of makes them sad, and then it makes me sad, and then I feel like I fucked up, and we never get past that. We never get past the fact that I think she's beautiful.
You don't want to go out with me? You're ugly anyway.
Well, isn't that more of an indictment against the guy who's trying to date you? I mean, in all honesty, I wouldn't really get too upset with that. I mean, seriously, I mean, if you were ugly anyway and he's trying to date you, I mean, ain't that more of an insult against himself than it is you? I don't know, but sure, whatever. I've never heard a woman ever say that to a man. I'll give you that one.
Is that all you're going to eat?
Have you ever taken a woman out on a date before? Because sometimes they don't eat a lot. They don't. They don't. Sometimes. It's not all women, but some people who have vaginas do not eat a lot. Sometimes they have eating disorders like anorexia, and then it would become a very reasonable question to ask.
You eat a lot for a girl.
See the last clip I just recorded.
You drink whiskey?
You like football?
I guess this video shall now be titled The 39 Things Women Hear and That Men Just Don't. Because I've had people ask me that question before as well. You like football? And they'd be like, no, I'm alright. And then it would be followed up with, why not? And then I would explain, I mean, it's not that I dislike it, it's just, it kind of bothers me that, there's so much tension, and it's a burst of action, instead of a continuous motion, I don't really like that burst of action that football has. And again, it's not a bad sport, I just am not the biggest fan. It feels like it's a turn-based game, like I'm watching Final Fantasy happen or something. I don't even know what I'm saying. Point is, football's alright to me. People ask me that question sometimes.
Your drive is kind of intimidating.
You wish that was one of the 48 things that women hear that men just don't.
What war on reproductive rights?
Last time I checked, women are the arbiters of life and death. So yes, what war on reproductive rights?
Can women have it all?
No. No, they can't. Except only a woman is arrogant enough to try to have it all. Men have already figured out that you're going to have to make different decisions to get to different things. Feminists sold their movement on the grounds that women could do both. And then it blew up in everyone's face. Why we're still asking this question eludes me. You'd think women would have figured this out by now, that no, you cannot have it all.
Are you like a feminist?
This video shall now be titled The 38 Things That Women Hear That Men Just Don't. Because I've seen lots of guys get asked if they're male feminists. Sure, they were viciously mocked after they answered yes, but they've been asked that question before.
Oh, you travel alone? Is that like an eat, pray, love thing?
Do people really say that to women?
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
I always kind of figured that was more a figure of speech than it was something that just was said to women.
You don't want kids? Aren't you worried you won't be fulfilled?
That question is more reasonable than you think it would be. I mean, there's lots of women who go through desperate lengths to reproduce. Some women will pay thousands of dollars to take another person's egg cell and put it into their uterus. I mean, they really do it. I mean, it makes sense that you'd ask that question. Some women are desperate to have children. You may not be that woman, but it doesn't mean they don't exist.
Your biological clock is ticking.
See the last clip where I was referring to the desperate lengths that ladies will go through to have children. Some women will even take other people's children. And I don't just mean adoption, I mean literally will steal other people's children. I mean, it's not like, it doesn't happen like a lot, don't get me wrong, but some women do it. It happens.
You're not taking your husband's last name?
Well, that's the only thing he gets. You get food, water, shelter, a man to provide for you, protection. All he gets is that his children are named after him. Yeah, you gonna take that away from him too?
You don't even look like you had a baby.
Could have sworn that that was supposed to be a compliment.
Are you planning on working after the baby's born?
That's a pretty reasonable question. And considering the fact that a lot of people still believe that it's a man's job to provide and protect for a woman, there is no reason why anyone would ask a man such a question. Especially not when we still want men to be in their traditional gender roles. It just would be a name.
You'd be so bored at home.
Well, maybe you are bored at home. Last time I checked, that was comparable to oppression. That's why we even have second and third wave feminism. Because women were bored, being provided and protected for. Seriously, that's go look it up. We have second wave feminism because women thought marriage was oppressive because they had to stay at home and do something. Never mind thinking about all of the work men had to do outside of the home, but that's another video for another time. Continue.
You're going to let someone else raise your kids when you go back to work?
I don't know what to say to that. That's a reasonable question. I don't... See my other clips I just recorded. Keep going.
Does your husband mind that you make more money than him?
Well, considering the fact that most women say that they want a man who makes as much or more money than them, then it would make sense that their husband would stop and kind of think about that. I mean, I'm just saying.
Your husband cooks dinner? You really have him well trained.
Is that an insult to you or an insult to him? Or is it just a funny turn of phrase where people are just joking around? Is there any reason to be upset about this at all?
You're dating a younger man? You're such a cougar.
You're dating a younger woman? You're such a pervert. So what is that? What, are we at 37 things that women hear that men just don't?
He traded her in for a younger model.
Sure, whatever. Yeah.
You should feel grateful you were catcalled.
I don't really think people put it like that. Probably you should feel grateful that someone complimented you. And since people put compliments under the umbrella of catcalling, then I guess, I don't know. Considering the fact that some ladies actually seek out catcalls and some women feel bad when they never get catcalled, I could imagine why someone would say a statement like that to you. Because contrary to popular belief, some ladies do seek out catcalls. It's interesting how it works. Actually, no, it's not interesting. It kind of makes perfect sense that people would seek out positive affirmation from strangers. Wrap us up.
Do you feel fulfilled that you were just a stay-at-home mom?
Once again, second wave feminism is a fucking thing because women weren't fulfilled as stay-at-home moms. That is why it is a thing that we had to deal with.
Isn't that outfit a little young for you?
You still wear makeup. How adorable.
You must have been beautiful when you were younger.
Again, I'm almost positive that that's a compliment. I guess no one has ever said that to a man before. I don't know. So what was that? What? The 37 things that women hear that men just don't? In all honesty, guys, I have no real idea what the bloody hell the point of this video was. I don't know what point they were trying to make. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, were they trying to say that women's lives are hard? Are they trying to say that it's sexist, that people think that you're pretty? I don't know. Some of this stuff sounds positive. Some of the stuff sounds reasonable. I mean, I don't really get the point of this video. I don't understand what point Huffington Post was trying to make. What I do know is that some of the stuff was asinine, and some of the stuff just wasn't true. So, with that being said, man, I certainly hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, man, go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment below, and as always, have a great day. I will see you cool cats soon. Adios.